This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Oh, yeah. So you probably want to get yours up a little bit closer.
Okay.
You can grab just...
All right. And co-host Marnie Winfield.
I got nothing.
Well, let's talk recovery.
Is that, are we supposed to finish that sentence or something?
No. It is the 3rd of August, 2021. My name is Corey Winfield, and Marnie's in the other room. I have a special guest on the podcast today. You might have heard him laughing through the open. Tyrone Hatcher. Tyrone, how you doing, man?
All right, Mr. Winfield.
Now, that's Marnie's favorite open of all time.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, it sounds a little dirty. Like when we're talking,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about the microphone being close to your mouth, but it kind of sounds like a little dirty. And Marnie's like, that's a classic. She's like, that's my favorite open. So, yeah, there you go.
It's good to have a favorite open.
Yeah, it's the blue one. So whenever I'm like, which one should I hit today, honey? She's like, the blue. So I hit that. Fire it off. So you're doing good today. You looking well. You got your 217 recovery shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
Sporting it.
Thanks to Mr. Winfield. 217 recovery.
It looks good on you, man. Glad that you're wearing it and rocking it. And do people ever see you out in public and go, what's this 217 recovery?
Yep, and a lot of times I get questions about it, but you have a website. I've seen it on the phone yesterday. You have a store line.
Yeah, we do have a store line. I don't know if people buy anything, if I'll ever get a notification. I don't know how that works. I just figured, you know what, let's throw it up there and see. Of course, if people want to donate, they can go to our website as well. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we help people get to and from transportation. We help people in early recovery. Phones ringing all the time, and you actually sporting the 217 recovery shirts and the hats and stuff like that. People come up to you and you give them advice. You kind of help them out. Well, not really advice, but you just kind of hear them and you're kind of there for them.
Right, yeah.
You were talking about a guy, and we can kind of get into it, but without really telling any names. But what's going on?
Well, you have people, they say they've been to treatment 20 times.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And he went to, what you call that when you're weeding yourself off?
Oh, detox.
Detox.
Yes.
And he got out a couple of days ago, and now he's back drinking again.
Oh, that's the worst.
But he said he went through this 20 times.
Oh, man.
So maybe the 21st time he might get it.
He might.
It might.
And that's the thing. I just fired off an email today, matter of fact, to a man in Detroit who's on a mission to make some changes in Michigan, which I'm all about that life. And I sent the email. Oh, this isn't working. I got to do a different one. Hold on, this one's better. So I sent the email and I hit send. And I said, look, man, things got to change around here. And he wrote me back. And he said, Corey, you keep doing what you're doing, buddy. We're out here on the front lines fighting for you and all the Michiganders.
All right.
I said, yes. I'll tell the people about your hard work. Okay, that's all I got. But I don't even know where I was going with that.
Yeah, but you can't quit quitting.
Oh, yeah. But I told him that my story is not unique. I'm not the only person. There's been people that probably went to 30, 40, 50, 100 times. I don't know. But the fact is, we can't give up on people.
You can't.
Because it could be that 21st time.
That's right.
It's easy to give up on people. It's easy not to be great, Tyrone.
It sure is.
It's very easy not to be great.
And Corey, you have people, let them down so much where they don't trust you no more.
Mm-hmm.
They might not never trust you again.
Mm-mm. There's a man that yesterday I helped get him home, and he was not in good shape, but again, it all goes back to, I don't know how to say fix the system, but definitely nothing in life is perfect.
No.
except for the cakes I make usually. See, and I said usually, so they're not even perfect all the time, but they're pretty damn good. So nothing's perfect, and I'm not expecting things to be perfect, but when things are so flawed and you can see it from a mile away, then why aren't people doing things about it? Again, you can sit back and just let it happen, or you can step up and go, look, because, well, we should probably address this situation. Maybe people aren't aware of it.
Yeah.
You know, if at one time I had a pipe break, it was out in my my front yard. I didn't know, but it was under the sidewalk, and I get home, I got no water. I call, and I was mad as hell because I pay my water bill. And I was like, why did you guys come turn it back on? So they come, they're like, yeah, we can't understand why. Well, my neighbor had seen the water pouring out and said, whoa, that's going to be expensive. Let me call the water department. They came and shut it off.
Okay.
Because I didn't know what was happening, you know. But when I found out, I was like, yeah, let's just turn that off real quick. You know, like I don't want to pay $458, which was my bill. So if we don't know what's happening, if people don't know what's happening, how do they know? Now, if I tell them this is what's happening, or you tell them this is what's happening,
Then they know.
and they still don't do anything about it, well, then guess what? Then we can make changes.
That's right.
You know, to people who don't need to be in those positions anymore.
That's right.
And we do have that power. And sometimes people, oh, but that's hard. And again, it's easy not to be great, man. But some basic common sense things, you know, again, if they don't know about it, how are they going to know?
That's right.
So, yeah, I'm just kind of taking that approach with it. But this guy was like, oh, yeah, well, they told me they're going to be a bus ticket and they're going to take me to the city. But the city is 30 miles away from where I live. And I was just supposed to walk home from there with, and he had a big ass luggage with him, and he was still, you know, shaking pretty bad. And I'm like, man, like that the dude is in no shape to be trying to walk 30 miles, Tyrone.
Wow.
I don't think I've walked 30 miles my entire life.
That's a long walk.
I mean, it could be done.
That's a long walk.
But in that dude's condition, like, are you kidding me? Like, for real? Like, you can't send people home that way. I'm sorry, you just can't. And if somebody says, well, that's what we have to do, well, then I would like to talk to you about it. Well, we don't have funding. Well, okay, well, who funded? Like, let's talk about it. Let's figure this out, because that is, to me, unacceptable. What if that was my brother? What if that was my mom, sister, cousin? If that was you, Tyrone. I would not be happy. And the fact that some people somewhere are cool with it, well, you know, and maybe that dude was an a-hole. I don't know, but he still doesn't deserve that. And it turns out he wasn't.
Right.
He'd been on some really tough times, man. Stuff that I hope never happens to me.
Yeah.
Because you never know how you're going to react in a situation. You might think, oh, man, I got this. You know, I'm 5 years clean. Things are great. Boom, left field, it hits you. And I don't know how I'm going to react to that kind of thing.
Right.
I just pray, and hopefully God will give me the strength, Jehovah, whoever, you know, whatever. Give me the strength to push through it.
Right.
But I can't tell you today. I mean, I could tell you today, but it's not going to be accurate of how I'm going to react in real life.
That's right.
You know, so I try not to judge people.
That's right.
And when it comes to recovery, I want everybody to experience the life I have. It's not perfect, but it sure the hell beats smoking crack, drinking.
That's right.
You know,
because when they see you doing good, it kind of makes them feel good that it can be accomplished.
Right. The guy, you know, that's been there 20 times, you know, and I think you have told him, well, Corey's been, 15 times, you know, and for some people that might give them hope, but I don't know where this guy's at, you know, or where his brain's at, or where his thinking's at, or what he's going through. You know, nobody but him,
That's right.
You know, knows that. But when you lose hope, it's hard to get that back.
Oh, it's very hard. It's very hard to get that hope back.
You know, we were just reading online about different countries, what they do for homeless people.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with America is first of all, the inequality, you know, the rich people versus the other people, you know, like there's a lot of money there, and it's a big difference. You know, we're one of the worst in the world at it.
Yep.
And those people want to keep their stuff, you know, and okay, cool. They just want to get richer and richer and richer.
That's right.
Okay, cool. I get that a little bit. I used to think that I wanted to do that, but now, man, just put a roof over my head, give me a car that runs, beautiful wife.
You're all right.
Oh, phone call during the middle of a podcast. I'm good with it, you know? Answer it.
Hello?
Hi, may I speak to Mr. Tyrone Hatcher?
Speaking.
Hi, Mr. Hatcher. This is Alicia.
I tell you what, Alicia, do me a favor. How about you mail the stuff and put the right email on it there?
Sometimes life doesn't go the way that you want it to go, you know, and sometimes your phone rings during a podcast. Sometimes you have to answer it. Sometimes you answer it and then we take a break. And then we come back to the podcast. But we deal with the situation the way that we need to deal with it,
Right.
and it's harder for some people in certain situations. And,
Right.
But can't give up.
You can't never give up, Corey, because this is a lifetime thing here. A lot of times it's like anxiety. I talk to people, I got anxiety, blah, blah, blah. I had to look it up. I say, oh, okay. People who worry about stuff, who worry.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the type of guy, I don't worry about it there. I just try to do it and less worry and do it. But everybody's different, though.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got approach recovery different.
In life in general. And, the mental health aspect of it all, to me, in my personal opinion, is 99% to do with it. It's us not knowing how to react or knowing how to act in those situations. And then we just want a release. We want away from it. That worry.
Right.
How do I get away from that worry? Oh, yeah, drinking helps me. Oh, yeah, well, I'll drink.
But Mr. Winfield, change is a hard thing.
Mm-hmm.
To change your life, change from drinking. I remember a couple of times I used to get high, and a couple of days later, I said, I don't want this stuff no more. So I quit. And then a couple of days later, I'm back at it again. But I like being at it because the crowd, the girls come around, they like this stuff. But you want to live in both worlds. But change is a hard thing. You have to change everything. You have to change some girls around you. You have to change people around you. That's the only way you're going to make it. You have to change.
Now, with the thought of, I'm going to miss out on that, was that, I don't know if it ever hit you then, but does it ever hit you now? Like, oh man, I'm missing out. I could be the man again. I'm missing out. Does that ever like pop in your head?
Oh yeah, all the time, But if I go back, wow, that's the hard part. When I go back, I'm starting everything back over again. You just have to look around new people, different people. You have to change. Everything can't stay the same.
If you don't change, that's what's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
It'd be a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I know. I like the buttons and the music and the effects. But you're right though, man. Like the whole got to change, and yeah, there will be times where you're like, oh man, I can't watch a football game and drink beer. Damn. But that's only at first for me.
Right.
Now I'm at a point where why the hell would I want to drink beer in a football game? Those don't have to go hand in hand.
That's right.
But the way I had always approached everything, laundry I had to be drunk for. Everything I had to be drunk for. I'm not into NASCAR. I don't like that. But I would sit there and watch it because it was an excuse to drink. And I go, oh, well, I'm watching NASCAR. I have to drink when I'm watching NASCAR. Like, that's what I do. And I'm doing laundry. I got to drink, man. Hey, I'm paying bills. Like, got to drink.
Corey, hanging around people who do drink, they might drink, but you don't have to. And then, on the other hand, they might drink and say, well, I got Corey here. I know Corey don't need to drink, but it's your choice. The game going to go on, whether you drink or not, no way. The game still going to go on. It's your choice you have to make.
But I know you were in a situation this summer, and drinking was never really your thing. But still, being around people that are using some kind of substance, it makes you feel uncomfortable. And then you realize, like, I don't really want to hang out with those kind of people. And there's nothing wrong with people going out and having a few drinks if you don't have a problem. But again, those aren't the type of people I personally hang out with. You don't hang out with people that smoke crack. Like, oh, I'm going to go to Bob's and just hang out. He be smoking crack, but that's cool. No, because you'd be like, man, Bob, he's on crack. I don't want to be around him. He's acting crazy,
Right.
We choose not to hang out with those people, but the thought of missing those people sometimes or missing that crowd, you realize soon that, and as I'm sure you're not missing out on nothing. What, you're missing out on some STDs maybe or STIs or what, you missing out on getting some stuff stolen or,
That's right.
Buying some bunk stuff. You're tired of your money just being gone.
That's the funny part, the money.
Mm-hmm.
Your money just...
Yeah, you don't miss none of that, do you?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
But you gotta think about that when those moments pop in your head when you're like, oh man, oh, I wish I could, be doing this again. I mean, you're a busy guy. Chris Goss.
Hello?
May I speak with Tyrone?
Speaking.
After another phone call, we're back. Bet you didn't even know we were gone. Who is that, Tyrone?
Yeah.
Who is it, Tyrone? Hey. Now, I don't know. I'm just playing with this background music. No, because I'm making a video for our fantasy football league. And this is not the background we're going to use for it.
It's a nice background there.
Yeah.
Like something from the 20s.
Yeah. No, I'm going to do like this one. In a world so far away is a championship you're never going to get. Corey Winfield's 217 Recovery Football League is here.
Starting up winning.
You're going to learn to play fantasy football sober. And you're going to lose while you do it. And you're going to find that losing is the best thing you've ever done when it comes to fantasy football. See, in Corey's league, you don't have a choice because he's in the league too. Sure, you can beat the other guys in the league, and that'll be all fun until you get to the playoffs. Then the real losing begins. But thanks for your donation, and I'm sure Corey will spend the money wisely at the end of it. Thanks again, and enjoy the season. The 217 Recovery Sober League. Welcome to real fantasy football. Ass kicking from Corey. This message is not paid for by anybody. When I used to do commercials, that hard at the end of it was the toughest.
Yeah.
Like 501c3 is a nonprofit organization. And they would, like, the commercial would be like 30 seconds. Like, you would have like this read, like it would tell you how long the commercial was.
Yeah.
And so, like, you type in that many words, like 30, it'd be like 28.2 seconds. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to put this 10-second tag in there? And we couldn't be over a second and a half over because of how they played commercials with the streaming, because they all had to match up. Because otherwise, when you come back from commercials, it would sound funny. So, like, either it would be cutting stuff off online. And so I'm like, how am I supposed to do that? Like, well, I don't know. Read it faster. Anyway, this is old radio time. But yeah, so there's a little preview of my commercial. Of course, I was all just off the top of the head, and it's going to be a lot better than that. And it's going to be video. And we got to do a video for the Fantasy Footballers podcast. They gave us 10, which you're going to get yours today, Ultimate Draft Kit. And they gave us 12 draft kits as part of a donation, because I told them, I was like, look, guys, I love your podcast, and I think you'd really help people in our league, and we really want to get people to join our league. But a lot of people had hesitation because they never played fantasy football before.
Right. It's my first time.
Yeah, and I figured with the draft kits, that would really help you guys kind of like, okay, it would help you understand it. And without me trying to explain it to you, because I might forget to tell you a few things, just being honest with it. But that way, you get their expert advice, and you can kind of get a flow of how things go, what players are good, which ones maybe stay away from, and which ones. And a lot of it's gut feeling. A lot of it's, well, who's here now? It'll make you mad when you're like, oh, I'm gonna get him, and you're looking at him, and then right before you pick, dude right in front of you takes him. You're like, who am I supposed to take now? It's fun. It's frustrating, and I usually get real nervous during the draft. It's like, it's better, in my opinion, than Christmas morning. Like, the draft it's my Christmas, man. Like, I love it. And if people do fantasy football, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And our league is full.
How many people you got?
12.
Wow.
We're rocking and rolling now, man. Like, I just emailed them about the codes, and they said this is how I should give them out. So once I get the people's buy-in, then boom, there you go. But then we're going to do the sober football league. Hopefully everybody can stay sober. You'll find out the ones that don't, they just stop touching their team. And it's just like, oh, that's too bad. I remember one time, though, I traded. Do you know who Travis Kelce is?
I don't know.
He's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Best tight end.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
You don't want him on your team. He's horrible. Horrible. Worst tight end ever. You don't want him. You don't want him at all.
He's like that. Oh boy.
No, he's No, he's good. So I traded him after week 1 because he only got like 8 points. And this other running back, Deion Lewis, who used to be with the Patriots, had a great week 1, scored like 20 points. Wow. So I traded Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league. Traded him, drunk. And then and this is something that I had to deal with too. The reason why my younger brother will never play fantasy football with me again. I'm glad you find that's funny. It hurts my feelings. But at the same time, I understand why. But no, like the whole season, I just kept, and I don't know if I really believed this, but I was like, man, he got in my team and he did that trade. I don't remember doing it. So I'm like telling everybody in the league that he somehow got my account and traded, and he didn't do any of that. Like, I don't know, man. That had to be very disappointing for my younger brother. They're like, why is my older brother acting like this? Like a child. It's nothing I'm proud of, but I had to deal with it. I have to accept it, and that happened. And I totally understand why he never wants to play fantasy football with me again. Yeah. Maybe one day.
One day he might.
I got to move on. I can't live in the past. There's nothing I can do about it.
That's right.
That time machine, even if you built one, you can't go back and change anything. So
it's already done.
Back to the Future tells us that. Am I going to go back and watch my mistakes? That's not fun. No thanks.
That's right.
But yeah, so that's something that is fun for me, and to learn how to do it sober was interesting. It can be done, and it's a hell of a lot more fun when you're not trading one of the best players in the league for a crappy player in the league. So yeah, right. No more of those mistakes. So yeah, looking forward to that. But we actually have to kind of take off. We do have a meeting that we have to get to, but yeah, Tyrone, thanks for stopping by.
Oh, no problem, Mr. Winfield. Anytime.
All right, cool.
Anytime.
Appreciate it, and thanks for listening. And we'll talk to you, and Marnie will be back on Thursday.
All right.
See you.